risk and uncertainty. The level of risk and uncertainty in Nigeria,
correct,
is beyond the normal risk and uncertainty that
beyond imagination.
Beyond imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Because take for instance what happened during since January to date, since this administration started, the thing truncated every businessman
correct
to the core.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of risk, how do you project for that?
Okay. Now,
And if you projected, what will you do to mitigate that type of risk?
okay, now let's get it.
And it is beyond human.
That's right. That's right here.
You know, in every country, there are certain things that drive the economy.
Correct.
Like in Nigeria, it's only oil that drives the economy. So as a businessman, we know that a slight change in oil price affects our business entirely. So we should be able to develop that shock.
No, you should be. What does it say is that you should be able to factor it in.
We factor it in to help us.
Okay, so let me attempt to answer that question, sir. You said that in Nigeria, the truth is that you are working in Nigeria, you are going to be retiring in Nigeria. So you are going to be operating in the Nigerian markets. Every market has its own risk element and its own peculiarity. Now, the first thing to do is to first of all open your mind. That's what we are saying. Not calculating the risk, amount of risk now that you can mitigate. First of all, open your mind that this thing I'm going into may either succeed or may not succeed. That will first of all put you at a state of mind of comfort. So you are creating a buffer zone. In case this thing didn't succeed as planned, I am not going to be shocked beyond measure. So I don't know if you're understanding it now. Not necessarily that you are calculating the risk factor and creating a mitigating event or plans for the risk factor, but opening your mind to the fact that there may be risk. This thing may not work as planned. So in the event of that risk, you have been able to create a cushioning effect in your mind, so that that kind of risk that will shock you so much so that you that one that gives heart attack or that gives stroke will not be there. However, our next point maybe will help to answer that question a little. Start small. Don't carry all your savings, all your benefits, and put everything in one retirement business. Yes, sir.
Sorry for it's like never answer my question.
Okay.
I'm aware of risk, but I'm saying the risk in Nigeria we're experiencing is beyond human imagination. At that level, when you are setting a risk, there's a risk factor, and there's a critical region you normally set in the beginning of the year to the end. When you go beyond this critical region, what do you do?
Okay.
That's my question.
Yeah, that's
when beyond the normal risk that you are expecting, what will you do? Okay. What do you do to mitigate it?
Okay, I'll answer that question now. But this is in the context for this class. The context is that open your mind that there will be risk, not risk factor. However, I'll come to answer risk factor because risk factor is an element of percentage. I'll have this percentage of risk. But today in Nigeria, it is higher than proposed or expected percentage. Assuming you say your risk factor is 50%. In Nigeria today is 90%. But in the context for which we are discussing this class is that believe first of all that the risk
Must come.
Then let's come to the factor now that you can mitigate. Now, every environment, like I said, has its own peculiarity. And every businessman, yes.
The risk, mitigating the risk, is insuring your business.
We are coming to that.
That is just.
There are also businesses that insurance won't take. But we'll come into that point. First of all, let's know that risks abound. Yes. Don't go into business in retirement and think that you just succeed. That's the point, first of all.
Maximum profit. You can't do it.
Just first of all, have that mindset that risks abound. Yes. It may not work as planned. So we have that background, isn't it? Now let's come to risk factor. The society today, for instance, you bought an item with a dollar exchange rate of 1,000 naira, and the exchange is selling for 1,500 today. It's risk, isn't it? How do you sell? If you go to some shops today in Abuja, they are not stocking. I was going to buy AC in Sahar, this standing AC. They don't have it in stock for about 3 weeks now.
Before they said they will call on Chao, they will call Lagos to know the current
price. So those are the risk factors. But however, sir, in our current situation, every businessman must understand the dynamics and the peculiarity of his own immediate environment. I use Saad as an example now because Saad is mitigating the risk by not stocking that item. Because if he stock that item now, he may not be able to sell. So what does he do at this point in time that this thing is volatile now or it's not stable now? It's not stocking. That is one way for him to mitigate. Another way you can mitigate is to ensure that your price is also flexible. Because if the risk element has increased from 50% to 60%, can you also adjust your price? That's what the Igbo man is doing today. Before the Igbo man sell in just Nyanya, he will call on the Lagos first. But what is the price now? You are paying for an item. I was paying for ties. I was already paying for ties, and they said, okay, they don't sell at that price again. Because it has what? Increased. Finally, sir, it is also necessary we insure our businesses. What?
Ensure business.
Okay. It's also necessary we insure our businesses against risk. But how do you insure business against volatile risk like this?
Like tornado.
No, insurance will not take those ones. Because the risks are too high. They will not take those ones. But another thing you can do to mitigate risk is in retirement, please don't start big. Yes. Start small. Start from where you are and grow to where you want to be. Because if you put all your retirement income and your savings into one business and the risk occurs, it may be too risky for you to bear. We've seen situation, a man that retired somewhere in Abuja, I don't want to mention the name of the organization, and went to Kwara State to go and set up a big farm, cassava farm.
Without pre-knowledge. Without
pre-knowledge in cassava farming. Wonderful idea, want to do gari, want to do all those cassava value chain and all that. And at the end of the day, he produced all those things, but there was no market to sell it.
No market.
He didn't know how to sell.
No. Which means he didn't do his
he didn't do his due diligence.
The feasibility study.
And one rain came, heavy rain came, and all the gari was soaked.
And the cassava got soaked.
Not cassava, he has processed gari.
You have processed it
in his warehouse.
Yeah.
And I speak to you now, his down with stroke.
It's not true.
Yes. But if he had started small, he would have learned the ropes. He would have understood the dynamics. He would have known the dangers. As he's growing gradually, he will be expanding and understanding the risks that are bound in that line of business.
Even getting a line for exportation.
Then he can also expand his market for exportation where necessary. So please don't carry everything you have and put in one business immediately. That, oh, this is the business, and sometimes you even go to borrow money to put into the business. It's risky. Start small. And everything that starts small, that you start small, has the possibility of growing.
Yes.
You're going to say something?
I still have the study.
Yes, have the possibility of going up. Don't just rush into putting everything in the business idea. Yes, beautiful idea, but there are risks that are bound. that you also need to learn on your own. The truth is that even when you go to do apprenticeship somewhere, there are things you cannot learn. Because those environments may not arise as at when you were learning that